Hi and welcome to another Origami Expressions video. In this one I'm going to show you how to fold one of these. It's a traditional decorative box. Quite a pretty little thing. Takes about 5 or 10 minutes. Pretty simple to make. Any piece of paper will do, but preferably one that's coloured on both sides. Okay, here we go then. Okay, so we're going to start with a square piece of paper. As you can see, it's coloured differently on both sides. So we'll start by folding the corner to corner. As usual in origami, try and be reasonably accurate. Although that's not particularly accurate that end, but never mind. Unfold that, fold it corner to corner in the other direction. Like that. First part of this folding this model is what's called a blintz base, which is basically fold all four corners to the centre. So by folding diagonals, we've marked the centre. So now we fold all four corners to the middle. Now a tip here is to fold opposite corners first, not the corners that are next to each other. That should mean that actually you get your four corners slightly closer to the middle. So reasonably accurately, like so. Turn it over and do the same thing again. Fold all four corners to the middle. So again, we're folding opposite corners first. That's not a very accurately folded one there, but never mind. That's going to be on the base anyway, so you won't really see that. There we go. So that's done what's called blintz the model on both sides. Now if we turn back, you see we have four small squares. So on each of these we need to fold the point to the outside again, like that. Okay. So there we go. There we go. And the last one. Now each one of these flaps on the four corners, each one of these flaps here, we're going to want to pleat into sixths. So the easiest way of doing that is to pleat it into thirds and then divide that in half. So probably the simplest way is to just judge it by eye. So I'm going to fold this one down, and I'm going to fold it down back so the point lies along the centre line, and I'm going to just judge it so that this gap here is about twice the size of the gap between there and the point. So that gap there. So this gap here needs to be twice this gap here. We'll judge it by eye, I reckon about there. So I'm going to fold that, and if I've got it reasonably accurate, which I haven't, you can see there's quite a big gap there, but never mind, it's not actually that disastrous at this stage, so I can just move it, and that's pretty close. That'll do. Okay, so there we go. Now if I unfold that again, I can fold that line there, this fold line here, to the fold line across the middle. That gets the first 2/6. Then you can see I have a fold line here already, so if I fold that so it lines up with that edge there, fold it back along that fold line, and then fold the point back to the fold line. There we are. And you can see I've pleated that into sixths. So, can you see? So we'll do the same thing here. So we'll roughly judge it. That's about there. And no, that's way too little. I reckon about there then. Nope, still not enough. And that's good enough. That's good enough for me. So fold that back, fold this fold line to the middle line crease that you've just made, and I fold along it so that this crease line lines up with the other edge of the pleat. Fold that crease back in the other direction again, like that, and fold the point to the edge, like that. Third time, it's about that much. Ooh, nearly. That'll do. It's a bit overdone it this time, so go back. There we go. So you can see I folded it in thirds. Not very accurately, but I have. I'm trying to rush it. So undo that. This fold line goes there. That fold so that the fold line you already have lines up with the opposite edge. Back along the fold and fold the point to the opposite edge. One last time. Fold that about like that. Not quite. Yeah, about there. Good enough. Back it comes. The fold line goes up to the middle. Fold that fold line up to the opposite edge. And fold the flap back. Fold the point to the opposite line. That's essentially all the folding done. So now it's just basically a question of opening it out. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put my fingers in this side, in there, and I'm just basically going to squash those together. And it won't stay squashed, but as we go around and do the same thing on the other side, we do it on all four sides, you see the model starts to go 3D. Okay, like that. And you can see that it's kind of a bit, it's nearly got a base at the bottom. So it's just a question of squashing it a bit. So you can see that's where the base is going to be, between these four corners. So if you just kind of pinch at the four corners of the bottom, squash it down and fold the other flap up as you're going along, you can see like that. That will form one side of the base. So let's take the adjacent side, pinch in the corners, and squash it along that line there. This one, you need to kind of open that out a bit, give that a good push, and squash in there. And last one. Open it out. Why does that not come far enough? And give it a good squash. You should find that the model, if you squash it and repeat it from inside, it's just a question of opening it out and keep easing the sides until it stands flat. You might need to squash these flaps down a bit so that they stick out. Now some people like to tuck these little triangular flaps underneath. I personally like to have them sticking out to the sides because I think it adds another level of decoration and detail, which is fine. So they go out like that. I also think it's kind of helpful to kind of just bend these side bits back a bit so that it kind of reinforces this side along here. So you just kind of squash those as far as they'll go in either direction. It reinforces the corners of the box a bit. But it's pretty much up to you, really. So see what you think. Squash the extra creases in where you think it needs it. And keep going, really, until the sides are done. And then when you have it, it should stand straight, like that. Your decorative box with nice little frilly bits on each corner, which is kind of nice. And there you have it. A simple little origami decorative box. This small one is made from standard origami paper that's 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters, and this one, which is larger, is made from origami paper which is about 24 centimeters by 24. I hope you're able to follow along and you enjoyed making that. If you'd like to see more videos from me, then please do take a look at my website www.origamiexpressions.com, where you'll find some other simple models to fold, some with diagrams, some with videos, and also some more complicated stuff that you might find inspiring. You'll find the links to my YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, website, all coming up on your screen in just a minute. Thanks for watching.